The Witcher has been one of gaming's big underdog success stories in recent years, generating just as much, if not more hype than AAA franchises in similar genres like Assassin's Creed or Dragon Age, but without as much in the way of AAA marketing muscle to back it up. When it comes to high fantasy games that feature copious amounts of sex and violence, they don't get much more classy or well-refined than The Witcher. But while The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt has a pre-install fanbase in the millions, it also has the dreaded Curse of 3 going against it. Gears of War, Mass Effect, Resident Evil, all incredibly popular franchises that saw massive backlash and/or fan apathy once they hit the third entry in their respective series. Maybe that's because the first game in a soon-to-be hit franchise is usually able to get away with being imperfect if the concept is fresh and exciting enough, while the second entry just needs to carry that momentum forward with refinements and expansions of the original concept. Once you hit the third game in your series, you run a much larger risk of coming off as tired and stale. Thankfully, The Witcher 3 features a huge laundry list of new features to keep things feeling fresh. It's got a massive non-linear open world and corresponding quest system with hundreds of quests and treasures to find and all new ways to find them. There's a new streamlined combat system and a new Witcher Vision ability that's a lot like Batman's Detective Vision from the Arkham games, but a lot witchier. Also, the story is a lot more in-depth and expansive than prior entries in the series, allowing protagonist Geralt to live the life of a Witcher in greater detail than ever before. You also sometimes get to play as Ciri, Geralt's daughter figure-ish character in the story, who also plays a central role in a chosen one-ish sort of way, but you're gonna get mad at me if I say more because spoilers. Anyway, she's a lot of fun to play, which is really all that counts. Sounds like all good news, right? And it almost is, but sadly it's not perfect. CD Projekt Red, the developers of The Witcher, seem to have bit off a little bit more than they could chew this time. Not unlike Elder Scrolls Skyrim, another massive, beautiful game made on a fraction of the budget of your Grand Theft Auto 5s, The Witcher 3 is oftentimes hampered by glitches and bugs. Sometimes characters walk funny, Geralt gets stuck in walls, you know the drill. Thankfully, there's a pretty forgiving checkpoint system so you won't have your game completely ruined over this stuff. Though as always, save often, cause why not, you dingus? Other than the glitches and bugs, or as TV's Wayne Knight likes to call them, bitches and glugs, The Witcher 3 has a couple of other things that might keep it from being absolutely everybody's favorite game in the series. That new battle system I was telling you about, pretty cool, but also maybe a little bit more simple than the systems found in other games. Some people might find that disappointing. And that Witcher Vision thing, the sort of Arkhamish Detective Vision style stuff, also gets a little bit old. It's not terrible, but you might get sick of it before the game's over. So I guess a little bit of staleness did get the best of The Witcher 3 in some ways, just not in the ways I expected. That said, certainly not anything that's going to prevent the game from being a massively enjoyable, massively successful, ribald, yet mature fantasy epic. But next time, maybe spend a little less money on the sex scene motion capture and more on the bug fixing, okay, Project CD Red? I love butt thrusting as much as the next guy, but, you know, priorities.